Hey guys, it's Damien here, and I'm doing another one of my walking around here in the landscape videos, which you guys seem to be enjoying. And today I want to do something a little bit different to my other videos. I want to do something a little bit fun, because it's so easy for me to talk a big game and talk about all these amazing things that I've done, these successes that I've had, and other guys that I know I've had. But I don't really spend a lot of time talking about my failures. Like some of the biggest blowouts, some of the most memorable oh crap moments where I've really screwed things up for myself. Because when I'm out with friends in a bar, I'm not talking about my amazing successes. The fun stories that we're all laughing and chuckling about together are the stories where I screwed myself royally. And so they're the stories I want to share with you guys today, because I want you to see that failure is normal, that screwing up is meant to happen, and that it can be fun and we can laugh about it and move on. So I hope you guys enjoy my horrible stories and I'm going to share you with them right now. Okay, so the first story is one that I'm going to be honest, guys, a number of my friends still won't let me down because I screwed it up for them as well. So we have this event in Sydney called Sexpo, and I think it's an event that goes on around the world. It's basically for sex positive products, dildos, vibrators, stripper paraphernalia, all kinds of adult sex toys and sex therapies and things like this. And it's a big expo event. And this year I had a friend, and she was running a booth over there. And one of the cool things about having a friend running a booth, other than free entry, of course, is that I also got tickets to go to the after party afterwards. And so, I'm thinking to myself, great, I've got some tickets for myself and, some good friends to go to this party. And guess who's going to be at the party is all the strippers, right? And all the hot models from this event. And I think, damn, I want to go to this. So I accumulate some friends, I pitch it, I sell it. I'm like, dude, there's going to be strippers. We're going to have a great time. And of course, my friend's like, yeah, sign me up. So we go to this bar, and I wanted to get there early because I knew that we wouldn't be the only cats that we were thinking there's going to be hot women here. So we got to this bar early, and I go to the bar, we order some drinks, and sure enough, within 10 minutes, we hear this woo noise, like this noise that women make when they're like catcalling each other or trying to be sexy. And there's a whole bunch of it going on, and girls cheering, clapping. And sure enough, I look around, and over there somewhere is a short table with two girls standing on it, dancing dirty together, and a whole bunch of women surrounding them, clapping and laughing. And I'm like, those have to be the strippers. So I go over there because I know I've got to get in there quickly because other guys are noticing and they're going to want to join. So I jump in with my friends, and we are doing so well, guys. We are like killing it. We are sitting there. I'm sitting there with like literally a girl sitting in my lap. My mate's over there with his arm around a girl. Another guy's over there with another girl in his lap. And like we are just giving each other the eyeball, like, God damn it, you son of a bitch, Damien, you got us to a good event. This is awesome. And, we were having a blast at this. And then one of my friends said something, and I thought, here's a really good moment to like give him a bit of shit, give him a bit of a tease. So I turned around to say this awesome line, whatever it was, to my friend, and I knocked every single glass off the table. And in that moment, every single girl stands up, like every single girl that we've been talking to stands up, backs away, and just looks at all three of us like we're pariahs. And they would not re-engage with us anymore. So essentially I screwed up every guy there. Every chance we had of getting the strippers just got ruined by that little moment. And to this day, no matter how much success I have, my friends still look at me like I'm that asshole that stopped them from getting the strippers. So my second big failure may sound a little immature, but something that I like to do is like play with words or say funny little sayings, or it's kind of my quirky personality that I like to get through when I'm talking to women. So anyway, I was at a bar in Sydney, and I'd been talking for like 2 or 3 hours to this woman. We were having this most amazing conversation. We were talking about like different cultures and attitudes about sex, and whether it's healthy to be really sexually expressive, or whether it's really healthy to be sexually repressed, not repressed, but conservative, We were talking about how dangerous it is to judge people for sexual promiscuity and to use shame as a sexual tool. All this great stuff that I love to talk about with women, because talking about it tends to make women feel safe to express themselves sexually around me. Anyway, so it's been a few hours, we're having a great chat, and then she turns to me and she gives me a look. It's a look that I know really well. And she looks at me and she says, "How would you like to go back to my place and continue this conversation?" Woohoo! Now, at this point, I'm like, it's a done deal. This is great. I'm so happy to hear this. The whole time, I haven't really been paying attention to her or anyone else around her, because when I talk to a woman, I'm very focused on her. She gets a lot of my attention. And so I really wasn't paying attention to anything else. And so what I said to her was, what would I say? I'd say that I was down like syndrome. And then she gave me this weird look and she took a step back, and I thought, what's going on here? What did I say wrongly? And she goes, "Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "What?" And she turns across, and her sister, who was sitting 2 seats away from her, who I hadn't even noticed, is sitting there. She's clearly got Down syndrome. And I'm like, you bastard. And that's it. I lost my interaction because I had to use that stupid little saying. Now, my last 2 stories, I have to admit, take place on beaches. But the first of these 2 begin at a nightclub, because I was out with a friend down in Coogee Beach, which is like a nightclub area, a beach area down in Sydney. And I met a couple of Norwegian women, and we didn't have long to talk. We were only in talking for about half an hour, but the interaction was really good. There was lots of sexual screening. Again, I had the very similar type of conversation. I'm like, oh, this is really fantastic. And I didn't get a chance to really push things any further because they were out for a friend's birthday and they didn't want to abandon her and go anywhere with us. So me and my friend, we organized to go with them to the beach the next day. I thought that's a good place to go. So sure enough, the next day rolls around. I'm getting ready, getting prepared to go off to the beach. And my friend texts me and he says to me, "Oh man, I don't know if I want to drive in down to the beach today, because I think that, there's a lot of work that I got to get done and there's some study that I got to do. So, you want to handle it alone." And I'm thinking, you asshole, this is going to be such a better day if there's 2 of us. This is going to be harder alone, because it's not just her I'm meeting with. As it turns out, there's her and 6 other friends all going to the beach together. And you're going to leave me to have to kind of be the sole guy to entertain them all. I'm like, you bastard, come on, man, just join me. And the more I pushed, the more he refused. So I thought, well, I'm not going to say no to the girls, because I'd still like to see what we can make of this. So I went down to the beach and I met with the girls near the beach, and then we walked down to the beach together. And it was pretty cool. I mean, for starters, it was like a gaggle of like 6 really, really hot Norwegian women at the beach with me. It's a good start. And anyway, we go down, we sit down on the beach, and within 5 minutes, like, there's nothing weird going on. They all take their tops off and lie down on the beach. So now I'm on the beach with 6 topless Norwegian women.
Really, the only word for it is...
And I'm like, I wish my friend could see me now. So I'm sitting there talking to the girls, and they're acting like everything's completely normal. I'm sitting here like, keep your eyes up above the horizon. Don't be creepy, don't be sleazy, don't make this weird, which is really hard to do, much harder than it sounds actually. And I'm thinking, how am I got to tell my friend about this, right? Because I need him to feel as bad as possible for abandoning me right now and leaving me like unaccompanied without a wingman. So after we go for a swim and we're lying back down, the girls are taking their tops back off and they're lying down. I thought, I've got to get a photo of this. Now, I know this sounds really mature, but keep in mind, I'm 24 at the time. So anyway, so I take out my phone really surreptitiously and I'm trying to pretend like I'm typing a message. But what I'm trying to do is get a nice landscape shot of like, my face and then a whole bunch of topless women behind me. So just as I'm taking the photo, just as I push the button, it dawns on me that I haven't pressed silent on my phone. So sure enough, I get that click shutter noise on my phone, and every girl sits up, covers her top, and looks at me. And I'm like, oh shit. And the girls have a conniption, right? They're like, what are you doing taking photos of us? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, to be fair, like, probably rightly so. Like, it makes sense that they'd be mad, but oh my goodness, they like got up and grabbed their clothes and walked away from me, and I was just left there on the beach like a complete pervert, which wasn't a good feeling. So Yeah, little note guys, don't take random photos of topless girls even if you're hanging out with them at the beach. So guys, this last story is one that I've talked about in a number of radio interviews here in Australia and a couple of TV spots because it was just such a random event. And it also takes place on a beach. So one thing I used to do on the beach was I would go to the beach alone with my towel and I'd walk up to 1, 2, 3 girls sitting on the beach and I'd just say to them, hey guys, do you mind watching my stuff while I go for a swim? So then I'd dump my towel and my stuff next to them and I would go off and have a swim in the water. So then I'd come back and, you know, I'd grab my stuff, start tiling off, and I'd sit down near the girls and we'd start a conversation. That was kind of my way of doing things. And it worked really well, generally speaking. So this particular day, I walked up to a couple of girls sitting on the beach, did this, went for a swim, came back, and I started talking to them. And the interaction was going really well. These girls were super cute. I think they were from the States. And we're having a grand old conversation. And then they kind of did this, you know, when girls look at each other and they're kind of like having this little private conversation without actually talking, just with eye contact. And they did that and they kind of smiled in this interesting way. And then they looked at me and they said, look, we're going to go back to our place for some lunch. Do you want to come with us? And I thought, well, yeah, damn skippy I do. So I went with them. We went back to their place. The whole while, like in my head, I'm thinking this could go well. This could go well. You know, I've seen porn videos that start this way. So we go back and we're having a chat, and they don't grab food straight away. They go and they grab some drinks. And I'm thinking, well, that's great. That's a good step in the right direction. Alcoholic drinks are never a bad start to any situation. And then we're having this whole chat, and things are kind of going. There's a lot of flirting going on, and the girls are consistently smiling at each other in this way that's, you know, certainly making me think they're thinking something exciting. And at a certain point, they look at each other and they put their drinks down, and they say, all right, we have something very exciting we want to show you. I think, oh, hello, what is this exciting thing you want to show me? And I don't know if you guys have ever seen like The Simpsons, where Homer Simpson is like rolling around on the floor going whoop, 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 whoop. But anyway, that's going on in my head right about now. And the girls go out of the room and they come back and they're smiling more than they've ever smiled in the whole time I've been talking to them. And they've got this box in front of them. I'm thinking, what is inside this box? Like, it's not a small box, it's like a sizable box, right? Like, what the hell is these kinky, saucy minxes got inside this box? So I'm sitting there, and inside the box, guys, are 3 Bibles.
Oh, okay.
And they are there to tell me about the word of the Lord, which was not what I thinking they were going to do. That was the most awkward, I think, situation I've been in a long time. Because again, I was about 24 and I didn't want to know about the word of the Lord. I still don't, to be fair. And I was expecting a threesome and didn't get one. So that's my last story of situations that are total blowouts for me. But yeah, guys, I hope that sharing some of these stories, it reminds you that it's okay to make mistakes, okay to blow out, that you're supposed to screw up, that no matter how good you get at this stuff, you're going to have times where things don't go according to plan. And I think the best thing you can do is laugh about it. And the more you do this stuff, the more laugh-worthy stories you're going to have. And I think a good mindset is, will this make for a fun story? You know, will this be fun to tell to my friends? If the answer is yes, cool. Like, you haven't lost just because you didn't get what you hoped you'd get. You got fun stories. You got good things to say to people at bars and, you know, with your mates. And so, yeah, embrace that stuff, guys. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed these. It's a little bit of an ad hoc video, but I want to try to make more content and give you guys a bit more of an insight into me and some of the interesting experiences I've had in my life. And yeah, don't forget, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in my future videos.